Yo, before we get started, make sure y'all comment, share, subscribe, all the stuff down there except the thumbs down button. The guy I was telling you about, Richard Torrez Jr., gets a knockout. Believe it was in the second round, might be wrong. Shout out to Billionaire Boxing TV, formerly known as Young Billy Boxing. He was there at the fight in Texas, and he got to interview Richard Torrez Jr. So I thought that was pretty cool, man. But Richard Torrez Jr. stops, I think the guy's name was Herndon, knocks him down twice, and then the ref waved it off because he was just all over that guy. The guy was turning his back. He was just trying to get away. And that's why he reminds me so much of Iron Mike Tyson, because the guy is just like trying to get away and he's cutting him off using angles. He's like all over people, all over people. And I always say, why not rush people right when the bell sounds, when they're cold, before they can adapt to your power? Rush them right when the bell sounds. That's what Mike Tyson used to do, and that's what he does. Look out for him. Richard Torrez Jr. He's now 7 wins and 7 knockouts. The guy he was fighting, I believe, had 20 wins and 5 losses or something. So I'm sure Torres will be stepping it up soon. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, though. The man from Tulare, California. I'm familiar with that area well. Tulare, California. Even though I grew up in San Diego, California. Southeast, that is. But I was watching the Circus last night. You know who? The boxing outlet was back at it. He had a live boxing panel. I wasn't about to go on there because they probably wouldn't have had me, because I would have exposed all that nonsense, or he probably would have kept cutting my mic off and muting me, so I wasn't going to put myself through that. But he's more than welcome to come on my platform when I go live or jump in the comments, Mr. Ross from the boxing outlet. But they had a guy on that was a former pro and amateur boxer, because they kept talking about the glove opening, and he was saying, you can open all these gloves. He's like, there's not one. He said, I'm watching a fight right now in real time. You could turn it on and see the guy's opening his glove. And they're like, what fight? He's like, it's on Showtime. They didn't want to turn that on because that would have destroyed their whole narrative. But it's like Tommy Fury says, they are 100% wrong. 100. But he was just telling them all about the gloves, man. And then Ross was talking about, yeah, but I called the lady from Everlast. I even went to the store and none of those gloves open. So you're telling me the gloves you find in a store are the same caliber of gloves that they use in a world championship fight? That shows how little you know, man. But couple guys on the panel were giving examples where fighters held open their gloves. Winky Wright, Canelo, but they push their narrative, and then they switch it. Once you kind of shut that down, then they want to talk about the hand wraps. Then something about Terrence Crawford wasn't supposed to wrap his hands with tape before, and one guy was saying that's legal in Vegas. The other guy was saying, no, that's not legal in Vegas. The problem with all that is Derek James and them go to the dressing room and watch them tape their hands. So, and the referee and the commission have to sign off on the hand wraps. One guy was like, oh, the wraps, when he took off his gloves, looked different than what he had on before the fight. Those weren't the same wraps. I think these dudes just sit around trying to come up with new narratives, just in case one fails, they got a backup plan. But they're quickly losing credibility. What does manager Marty say? His viewership is growing exponentially or whatever. I think it's dropping exponentially, or it should. 100%. 100%. Oh man, listening to that, man, at this point, it's like beating the stuffing out of an old heavy bag, you know? It's like, but they keep giving me material because, like I said, what they're saying is so outlandish and whack that I can keep making videos about it, you know? But the former pro boxer and then the former boxer was trying to tell him, like, all fighters, because they were saying the rules say you can't manipulate the gloves. And he's like, dude, that's the first thing all boxers do when they get a new pair of gloves. They start pounding their fists together. Yeah, but that's against the rules. If all fighters do it, then technically, how's it against the rules? Have you ever seen a fighter not do this? I even see Deontay before he throws his right, he's pushing his knuckles to the front of the glove. And technically, you're not supposed to clinch in a boxing match, but everybody clinches. Do we say, oh, he's cheating because he's clinching? Now, if it's excessive, yeah, but just clinching, that's an unseen part and unseen rule of boxing. So they are just literally looking for anything, talking about you can't manipulate the gloves. And you see, he cut they still talking about he cut the part from the thumb to the glove. And the one dude was like, okay, well, look at this still picture where Terrence Crawford's hands on Errol Spence's shoulder. Do you see anything flapping down? Well, no, it wouldn't flap because, dude, what are you talking about, dude? It's just... And the dude was basically telling him what I said, that I think some of his photos are Photoshopped. And he said, where'd you get your photos? He said, I can tell you where I got mine. Where'd you get yours? And he didn't want to answer that, of course, because, again, that destroys the narrative that Terrence Crawford cheated, and we know he didn't cheat. If he cheated, Derrick James would have said something. Errol Spence would have said something. And why would you want a rematch if somebody cheated? Why would you want to fight somebody that would go to them lengths? And they keep talking about, you see, like Bo Mack is covering his glove in the corner, and he's manipulating it. And like they said, man, he's wiping the grease off the glove. When you punch somebody, you're getting the Vaseline and stuff. They're wiping that off. No, he's manipulating the glove. And then look at this fight. At the beginning of the fight, Terrence Crawford is hiding his hands behind his body. So what is that going to do? If his hands are behind his body before the bell sounds, what? He can't keep them there. His hands aren't going to stay there. He's going to bring them here. So you act like because they start here that we're not going to see his gloves right when he comes out. Y'all don't make any sense, man. Y'all don't make any sense. Manager Marty, you're more than welcome to come to the J. Roos Theory or WJ. Ross from the Boxing Outlet, you're more than welcome to come to in WJ. And I got more rhymes for y'all if y'all want that. I was just having fun with that. But shout out to changing topic. Shout out to Richard Torrez Jr. on his 7th win. 7th knockout. Shout out to Tulare, California, Pixley, California, Southeast Dago, baby. All the areas, Chula Vista, Mission Valley, the South Bay, National City. Shout out to McDonough, Georgia, Douglasville, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. You know, listening to them dudes talk for, I'm switching back. I'm going back and forth between Richard Torrez and the Boxing Outlet. Just listening to them dudes talk for 2 hours was, I admit it was kind of entertaining because I was just waiting to hear all the stuff that they had to say and still coming with accusations. It's so many, man. Do they really think that Errol Spence is that great of a fighter that Terrence Crawford would have to go to them lengths to risk his career and his name just to beat him? I mean, they're just really trying to make Terrence Crawford look bad. Like he's a cheat. He's a cheat. So he's been fighting all these years and no one's caught him. The one thing I didn't like about what the professional fighter did, though, he was proving his point, but he would kind of jump back and forth. And then I guess from the peer pressure, he'd start saying, well, they all in on it. The commission and everybody, like everybody's cheating, basically. It's like, don't give in to the pressure, man. You made your original point that everybody does this with their gloves when they put them on. Everybody, because they're trying to fit their hand in the glove for one. That's not manipulation of the glove going like this. That's not what the rules mean. How is pushing your fist into the glove manipulation? That's not manipulation if y'all don't stop. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate the viewership 100%. 100%. Thanks for watching. LSR forever. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe, and be fearless. Although, boxing outlet, you probably fear the J. Roos theory, because I bring facts, not accusations. Yay.